All right. Let's get this mock draft going. I'm going to do rounds 1 through 4 because I'm not quite aware of anything past rounds 1 through 4. I've only done a little bit of things for the first 4 rounds. So here's going to be my little bit of a mock draft. So I will say, if a team gives me an unreasonable offer, I'm not going to be accepting that offer. I'm going to be doing a first one without trades. I'm going to do one with trades. So I'm going to start with the one with trades. Not with trades, without trades, and then one with trades. It was good to started. So welcome to the live one viewer. Oh, that is okay. All right. So we have the second overall pick. The options are Evan Neal, offensive tackle at Alabama, as our top prospect. Very unlikely. I'm just thinking Sewell would be quite interesting if we would ever do that. Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame, cornerback Derek Stingley Jr., Drake Jackson, edge out of USC, Chris Olave, receiver out of Ohio State, Kenyon Green, guard out of Texas A&M, DeMarvin Leal out of Texas A&M. I don't really like any of these options at number 2. So what's our quarterback options? Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. Matt Corral, QB out of Mississippi. Sam Howell, quarterback out of North Carolina. Oh, well, I don't like any of those options either. Truthfully, I'm going to go for best player available right now. We're going to go Kyle Hamilton with the second overall pick. My highest graded player in the draft class, and also in my highest graded player ever in draft scouting history. All right. Next off, we have the 24th overall pick. We have some options. So, first off, there's the option you get Rattler. I'm not a fan of Rattler. I don't understand why he's even still first round pick. He's going to get benched. Then you have Akeem Ekwonu, offensive guard out of North Carolina State. Our interior line has been questionable. Jonah Jackson's been garbage. Big V might not even get re-signed next year. And we might just need to go ahead and try to protect our quarterback at the future or our current quarterback, whoever it be. But do we want to draft another lineman 2 straight years in a row? And what's our options for a receiver, with Drake London being available as well? Do we want to go for that receiver, secure it? All it is a need. And we did draft Fitu Melifuanu round 3 versus Syracuse, from Syracuse. And we still have Jeff Okuda, and there is free agency. Not to mention, there has been some improvement from Jerry Jacobs. So who do we go for? I think there's definitely options. But in the end, I think I'm going to go for Ahmad Gardner because I believe there are good receivers along the road. So we get him. What are our top options? So, first off, Brandon Joseph is still available. Zion Nelson, Kingsley Exobert, Justin Ross, Perrin Winfrey, Lectica Smith, and Kenny Pickett. And our receiver, our top guys are Justin Ross, John Mechie III, Romeo Doubs, and David Bell. And looking at this list, I really do like it. So I'm going to go with Romeo Doubs, receiver of Nevada. And I'm going to give a little bit of an explanation for these picks. So, now we're at round 3. What are our top options? Justin Ross, very unlikely. Nakobe Dean, Jalen Tolbert, Adam Anderson, Jared Patterson, Zion Johnson, and Sam Williams. Okay, well, considering the fact that we drafted both our safety and our corner, and we just drafted ourselves a receiver, what's our options at linebacker? Nakobe Dean, linebacker out of Georgia, Ventrell Miller, linebacker out of Florida, and if you don't even know how to pronounce that, Henry Tuo'o. Basically, we're kind of screwed in the linebacker department at this point. But to be fair, I'm also kind of confident in Alex Anzalone and Derek Barnes after how good they've played. Not to mention Daniels Maben is even showing some growth. Not to mention there is free agency. So, what about our edge position? Sam Williams, he's probably my top guy here. Over Adam Anderson, who has not done anything. Nick Bonito and me alone, maybe. But to be fair, I also just do not think edge is much of a need. Charles Harris is coming off a great year. We also still have Julian Okwara, our third round pick, who's basically in his rookie year. Trey Flowers still has his contract, and we have Romeo Okwara. I don't think edge is much of a need, especially since most of these guys are outside linebackers. So that's a no. Defensive tackle, no one really much worth of selecting. So, truthfully, who do we go for? Is there a quarterback available? Caleb Elby, quarterback out of Western Michigan. No. Grayson Mccall, quarterback out of Coastal Carolina. Tempting, but no. Truthfully, there's not a quarterback I'm a big fan of that's really left in this draft. So, in the end, we're not going to go quarterback. Do we go for a second receiver for Justin Ross? Just to make sure that Goff really gets that receiver core, or someone we bring in for competition for Goff has that receiver. It's tempting, but Justin Ross has not done well without Trevor Lawrence. Will he do well with whoever our quarterback is? What about Zion Johnson, our guard from Boston College? After all, we need to protect our quarterback of the future. And overall, I do think he's probably my top player left on the board. So we're going to go with Zion Johnson, offensive guard out of Boston College. So there we go. Now what's our next option? So there's still Grayson Mccall, a valuable quarterback out of Coastal. Do we take him in the third round? I don't know. What about our receiver options? Chris Tallman, Bell, Jason Hasselwood, George Pickens. I know a lot of people like him. I don't want to go running back. What about this? Do we maybe get ourselves an extra good safety? After all, good rotation is important. Sylvanian Banks. Do we get that cornerback? Overall, I think I'm going to actually go ahead and get Isaiah Palomo. The guy kind of does everything. He's a pretty solid, strong safety prospect. And that finishes off the draft for the Detroit Lions without trades. We get ourselves a strong safety, quarterback, receiver, offensive guard, and a strong safety, free safety, and cornerback guy all around. Slash linebacker. This is the first draft I do. Now, this is more of a limited draft, I will admit. But it's still, in the end, a pretty solid draft just for the first 4 rounds. And it kind of addresses our biggest needs. Guard. And all of that. So, now we move on to a draft of trades. So, I guess since we only have a 4th round pick like I thought we did, just go rounds 1 through 3. So, once again, we do not have much of a trade option. We don't have a buyer. So, I'm just going to have to kind of restart it because I can't really make a force or make a prediction on this thing. If teams don't want to trade, they don't give you good trade offers. So, Philly has offered to give us the 5th overall pick, the 10th overall pick, and next year 3rd. Pretty reasonable to get to pick number 2. We've honestly seen worse, such as Chicago. So, we're going to accept this deal. With that 5th overall pick, we do miss out on Derek Stingley and Kyle Hamilton. So, here's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the cornerback from Florida, Kair Elam. He has good size, good everything. So I'm going to go with him. And now with that 10th overall pick, it really does put us in a nice position. We could get Kenyon Green, Chris Olave, good receiver. We could get Malik Willis, Treylon Burks. There are some really good options here. Even there's a chance we could go ahead and get a linebacker like Christian Harris. But in the end, what's our biggest need? quarterback or receiver? Do we go for the stacked receiver class? And I even think this is an underrated quarterback class. Good options in both. But what are the Lions building towards at quarterback? There's even Sam Howell available. Overall, I think we would probably more than likely go receiver. And I think we're going to go with the best receiver in the class in Treylon Burks. I was very tempted to take Malik Willis there, and if he's still available, I would take him. Okay, so he's not. So now we're at the position of, okay, what's left? And I'm going to go cornerback with Ahmad Gardner. I think he's an underrated cornerback. Just kidding. I'm not going to take another corner. We just tried to cover Elam. So now I have to look. Okay, Edge, Zach Harrison, Baron Winfrey, Jordan Davis. Davis is convincing. Where do we go from here? There's even Lecter Smith. Some tackles. There's some receivers. There's a running back. There's even a cornerback. I'm looking. We're looking. And I'm tempted to take Demarion over Schoen. Due to the fact that he's the top linebacker left, I want to make sure that we get that inside linebacker. So here we go. We're going to select him. So, next we're left with, we have drafted ourselves a cornerback, we have selected ourselves a receiver, and now we've also elected ourselves a linebacker. So now our remaining needs is strong safety and quarterback and guard. So, there's Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh. I'm going to be doing a film review of y'all of him soon. There is Ed Ingram and Ben Brown and Zion Johnson. There is Brandon Joseph, Daxton Hill, and Bubba Bolden, but I'm not much of a fan of these guys. And looking at this list, out of all the guys, it's quarterback for me. One of the positions of weakness that we have is there's guys I'm like, these guys are must-haves. Even like Smith has been picking the only other guy I'd maybe think about taking here. So I'm going to go Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh. So now we're here. And I'm going to go ahead and look at my options. We secured a linebacker. We secured a cornerback. And now our only need is safety for defense. We even got ourselves our receiver. David Belts really can not that. We even got ourselves our backup quarterback. And our quarterback of the future more accurately. What about guard? Ben Brown is still available. He's considered a mauler. So where do I go here? Well, I was thinking about it. I'm looking. What do we got? We got pick 66. We got pick 98. And I'm going to go with no. Make sure of something real quick. Yeah, I know my decision. Oh, excuse me, that's the other one. Excuse me. Alright, oops, now what I'm going to do. I'm going to select Sterling Weatherford, strong safety out of Miami, Ohio. And then I'm also going to select Isaiah Palomalo. So, let me explain this real quick. First off, not a guard I really would be fine picking. I already know this. I'm going to explain these two guys real quick. So Isaiah Palomalo and Sterling Weatherford are both versatile, strong safety guys. Palomalo is a more traditional guy who can play both free safety and strong safety. Not to mention, that he can also play. But then there's Sterling Weatherford, who can play inside linebacker and slot cornerback, and he's even decided maybe he should move to linebacker. So you get yourself another inside linebacker potential guy. Two guys that compete themselves and push each other for strong safeties, or just good rotate. One of them to be a good rotational for the other. Kenny Pickett, really underrated quarterback. I think he's a good developmental guy. His stats have really blown up his last year. He has some really good tape. Really made a play. DeMarvion Overshown, bit of a project player maybe, but he's got some good size, some good speed, good long arms, good in coverage, good speed. Traylon Burks, I have him as the best receiver in the class. Great size, great speed, production at a smaller, it's not so successful school. Kahir Elam, great size for that cornerback position. Has some pretty good production as well. And these are my selections. Different situations, I maybe would have gone with another guy, and there have been different ones. So, for example, if Zion Johnson was there, I would not have stuck with Sterling Weatherford. Now, if there's other guys, there might have been other players I would have gone with. All right, so now I do know we have one viewer here. So, one viewer. All right, do you want to do your own mock here? Just type yes or no in the chat, because if not, I'm going to end the live. Okay. I guess not. Gonna give him 10 more seconds here. Uno, dos, tres. I can't count that many times in Spanish. All right. Well, we've hit 17 minutes, just like our good old friend Trinity Benson. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later. Have yourselves a great time. You guys are the pride. I'm very glad to have you in there. Remember to go watch David's live next weekend on Friday. And I will see you guys later.